on sliding our pictures, so Josh is waiting for that to come up. And I just want it to pop up when it does, okay? So we're waiting on that. Anyhow, let me give you some of the things we're going to go over this morning. Judiciary Committee. There it is. So it popped up. Okay, folks, there you go. Thanks, Josh. There's the college football playoff field, okay? Alabama will be playing Oklahoma. Clemson will be playing Notre Dame. Georgia fans, please, please stop. The officials is not the reason you lost. Just saying. You come out for a fake punt. You see Alabama's defense did not leave the field. Their return team's not out there. They don't, hey, whatever. You know, just the fake punt's not it. But you can't intercept the ball and not turn it into points. You can't miss field goals. And you can't come out in the third quarter and sit back on your heels and think, okay, we're going to play prevent defense here. Just saying, okay? I don't want to argue. I don't want to get upset, all you Georgia fans, but stop already. Second, stop with being number 5. You lost, okay? I don't see Texas, which that's who you're playing in a bowl game, screaming, well, we played Oklahoma well down to the end. Yeah, but Texas was number 12 in the nation, and no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay? I watched the Texas-Oklahoma game, all right? Now, a sloppy, nasty, cold, wet night up in Charlotte. Number 2, Clemson. So here's my prediction, and we'll move right along. First of all, Georgia, you're not in it. You shouldn't be in it. You're playing Texas. Go play 4 quarters. Beat Texas. Enjoy it, and wait for next year. Bottom line, okay? Quit showing me face mask. Quit showing it to me. Quit showing me wrapping up the receiver down. Quit showing it to me. Just stop already, all right? Anyhow, okay. I do think Alabama gets past Oklahoma. I watched Oklahoma, enjoyed watching Oklahoma. Oklahoma deserves to be there. Ohio State fans. Sorry, you're not in it. You don't deserve to be there. Bada bing, bada boom. 5, 6, whatever you are. Sorry. Oklahoma deserves to be there. That's my opinion. So there it is. I'm happy with the matchup. Now, this is going to upset one certain individual, but I'm going with it. Every once in a while, people say, will you spit it out, damn it? Okay, Alabama will beat Oklahoma. Clemson will beat Notre Dame. Sorry, Notre Dame. Clemson will win, okay? The freshman quarterback up there, all right, you will lose. Notre Dame, sorry. It will be Alabama, Clemson in the national championship game, and Clemson will win the national championship. My opinion, okay? I know, but Pitt's not even ranked. Well, they went in there and played Pitt for the ACC. Not even ranked. Let's get over it, okay? Get over it. How many of you watch Pitt and keep thinking that Tony Dorsett's going to run the ball and Dan Marino's going to throw it? All right, get off that. All right, let me tell you what we got coming up this morning, all right? And I know they're going to break that down. They're going to break that down on the sports show this morning. All right. 3 things we're going to work on. We're going to do a full segment. We're going to spend some time on the election, all right? So, what election you say? Tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday's election day. Now, early voting right now looks good for Brad Raffensperger, the Republican that is running for Secretary of State. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that immediately. Coming back from the break, we're going to get right into the election for you here in Georgia. Running against John Barrow, the Democrat there, okay? So, and you also have tomorrow the Public Service Commission. Now, I can't get in the weeds. Got some friends on social media that are in the weeds. Good for them. They've done a great job. I've shared some of their stuff. But Chuck Eaton, the Public Service Commissioner already, that's on the commission, that's already on there. He's a Republican. He is seeking re-election, and Georgia Power, the nuclear conglomerate, whatever, dumped $750,000 or something like that into his campaign, I think last Friday or Thursday. Why do they want him to get reelected? And Plant Vogtle down there has been a disaster. The nuclear plant, Plant Vogel's been a disaster. And he is running against, what's her name? I got to pull her name. I forget this lady's name he's running against. I'm sorry, I just drew a blank. But that is on the ballot tomorrow also in Georgia in a runoff. Now, give me number 5. All right, this is represented, number four. Sorry, if you can get to number 4. Okay, this is Sam Watson. Sam Watson's a representative in South Georgia. Sam Watson actually happens to be standing or kneeling in his field there. He's a South Georgia farmer, also a representative in South Georgia. He has sent, along with a bunch of South Georgian representatives and senators, a message to the 8th District. That would be Matt Gutler's district that voted no against him. They have sent me a letter. I have a letter after my interview with Representative Gutler last week, or I think it was week before last, and Matt Gutler voted no on the hurricane relief fund money, and he sent me a letter that we're going to be showing you and we're going to be posting on our website today that really is a message straight to the 8th District. And the 8th District of Georgia happens to be Union County, Towns County, Rabun County, and a part of White County that they said they're not real happy with Representative Gutler. That's number 6, show number 6 there. They're not real happy with Representative Gutler. And they're from South Georgia. We're going to talk about that. Give me number 2. This would be Congressman Doug Collins. Congressman Doug Collins is pondering his next move. But we do know he's going to be the ranking member. Now, his hope was to be the chair on the House Judicial Committee. Okay? But now he will be the ranking member. He made it past Jim Jordan and another Ohio representative. He will be the Republican ranking member. Give me number 1. He will be going up against the new chair, Gerard. There's Gerard Nadler, representative from New York, Democrat. That will be the chair, okay, of the Judicial Committee. Go back to Collins. Now, Collins will be the ranking Republican member. Sitting next to Nadler, okay, will he be able to defend the president? We're going to talk about that. Now, the congressman was supposed to be our guest this morning, but he had to, I got a late message yesterday evening, change his schedule due to things going on in D.C., surrounding several things coming up. We have a funding bill, a continuing spending resolution that has to go in place, and with the death of 41, some things have changed in the congressman's schedule, so they plan to reschedule. We don't know when yet. He will be the ranking member. Guess where the impeachment trial or the impeachment recommendation would come from? That'll come from the Judicial Committee. This guy right here, Congressman, 9th District Congressman Doug Collins, has to be the number 1 defender of our President of the United States. So I want to ask him that. I can't wait to ask him, will you defend our President against these baseless, phony Russian collusion charges and these bogus attempts to impeach our President of the United States? So we will talk about that a little bit more in the show. They're obsessed with this guy. This spun their brain around, okay? This is number 52 there, if you have it ready. This is Roger Stone, number 52, Roger Stone there. And I engaged in politics, okay? I engaged in politics. So ABC, George Stephanopoulos interview, will he be indicted by Mueller? All right? So their heads are spinning off around Roger Stone. Now, 41, George H.W. Bush, Herbert Walker Bush, okay? I really enjoyed this picture right here. And I had it here just a minute ago, Josh. And it's the one where the dog, I don't know what number that is I had that I wanted to pull up. Do you know which one it is? Let's see, I had it here just a minute ago. There it is. That's the casket there of George H.W. Bush, 41st President of the United States, one-term president, and that is his service dog there. That is his service dog, and I understand the service dog will be reassigned and go to Walter Reed, if my understanding is correct. But that is the service dog laying there, and Trump is sending. And here's a picture number 43. Number 43, Trump is sending Air Force One, remembering 41. Trump is sending number 43. If it's not frozen up, we can move. There you go. Remembering number 41. Air Force One will be traveling today or is en route already to bring the casket back and the body of number 41, remembering him. Trump is doing the right thing as a president should do, okay? As a president should do at this time. And they are actually watching. I'm serious. I've never been more serious in my life. They are actually watching to see when Trump no longer acts presidential. And, you know, before we go to our first break, you remember when Saturday Night Live was funny? Now, the attacks right now in the message, okay, Saturday Night Live tries to do a message. Every president, they've always, I'll never forget, Mike Dukakis, when they did the debates, it was hilarious. I'll never forget when they had, I would say George H.W. Bush is what I would say the last, to me, president where they were actually really, really funny. There was some Clinton times that they were funny, but then they started moving into an agenda. I do not, have a problem with comedic humor and laughing at the president, all right? Laughing at the president and being able to laugh at himself if it's not agenda. You remember when Dana Carvey, let's play this. Dana Carvey was invited to the White House, the Christmas at the White House when they unveiled all the decorations of Christmas by George and Barbara Bush. Dana Carvey and his wife were invited to the White House to stay in the Lincoln bedroom. They didn't have to pay, by the way, like the Clintons charged. And then the next day, actually do his George H.W. Bush impression in front of the president and the first lady. Let's play that tape, remembering what humor used to be like, and Dana Carvey.
Good night. Well, First thing I notice is podiums for the other guy over there. Feel like Billy Barty up here. Kind of short down in this area down here. Would love to be up here, but I'm down here. This is very, very strange. I was staying in the Lincoln bedroom last night, and I couldn't resist getting on the phone, and I called up the Secret Service as the president. Feel like going jogging tonight. In the nude. My wife and I were looking out on the lawn around midnight, and these guys were fully unclothed. Well, it's good to have. I've been studying him since yesterday, and I think I've actually. The way to do the president is to start out with Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Then you add a little John Wayne. Here we go. Let's go over the ridge. You put them together. You got George Herbert Walker Bush. That's the thing there. Now, thank you. It's a tough crowd. So we've had a lot of fun over the years together. He called me at home, which is a trip, I gotta tell you. To be on the phone, I was doing an interview with People magazine. They said, hold for the president. And your heart just starts, there's something about hold for, Dana, how you doing? You know? And at first you're like, come on, who is this? Well, thought you might come out, you know, feeling a little nostalgic, thought you'd come out. Been quite a year. Got a little nauseous there in Tokyo. Should have seen the look on the Prime Minister's face there. Oh, Mr. Bush, you look like you're going to bro chunk. That was, sort of a... Now, I did use the hand. There's a lot of hands that the president used, a lot of different gestures, as you know. The first one I noticed was sort of the hitchhiker, this one. Those people down over there doing that. And then there's 2 6 guns up here doing that thing. Then the wandering index, that fella down there. Put them together. And then the staple. It kind of got... So, of course, I completely exaggerated it, But in all fairness, on Saturday Night Live, we do everyone. We do Bill Clinton. We do Ross Perot. Of course, I did do Ross Perot. And here is the deal, see. Now, he's got one eye almost shut like that, see. Here it is. Now, Christmas season. Isn't this nice? I love those Christmas songs. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, what the hell is a red-nosed reindeer? A reindeer with a drinking problem, I swear. Now, I just adore it here, and so do all my kids, and so does tomorrow. I love Ross Perot at a press conference. Didn't you love when he gets to, yeah, but what, do you have any evidence? What? You're not listening to one word I'm saying, are you? You want a sound bite? Is that what you want? You want a little sound bite, little something to put in your press story there? Is that what you want? See, is that what you like, huh? Now, the deficit is like a crazy ant down in the basement. No one is paying attention to her. And she is just getting ornery and stinkier. You catch me? I say, take her out, slap her around, and hose her down. Well, that was good. Not as good as when he does me, though. I will be doing things next year. Got a lot of big plans. Going to challenge Bobby Fischer for the World Chess Championship. Going to enter the triathlon competition over there in Hawaii. First, you got to swim. Then you ride that bike, and then you end up running 26.2 miles. Not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. That was the other one. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. That thing, doing that thing. Now, I always did this thing. I always said that the president goes, it's bad, it's bad. But you only did it once. I did it for 4 years. He did it once, so. I don't know. Do you want to come on up, or? I must say, everything out there. We gotta bring them together. I gotta say that my wife does a terrific Barbara Bush impression, so this is my wife, Paula. But I gotta say that your boss has a terrific sense of humor, and well, he called Baba Gunding Bagadingla. Got a little tongue twister there. If you want, why can't Dana Carvey talk at the White House? Wrong! Okay.
Folks, remember when Saturday night was funny? Remember when it was just making, light of gestures and mannerisms and things like that? You remember that? Well, that was 41. I had to play it all. I hope you stayed with me on it. I had to play it all. I just absolutely love that one, where Dana Carvey also does his Ross Perot. But that was when we did mannerisms of this past Saturday Night Live. We're not going to talk about it. Alec Baldwin did his Trump and just political. Political. It's not even humor. But all right, whatever. So 41 will George H.W. Bush. I remember all too well, and actually he was on the ticket. First time I was ever able to vote. My first vote I ever cast for President of the United States was for Ronald Wilson Reagan and George H.W. Bush. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back. We got a lot to talk about this morning.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Here's to 60 years of Pizza Hut, to original pan, to stuffed crust, and to the best of both. The new double cheesy crust pan pizza with stuffed crust cheese baked just inside the golden edge of original pan. Here for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
We're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP, trying to get settled here in my new chair. I got a new chair. It's the Christmas chair. Hey, folks, we are your #1 online news network here in the mornings. And if you would like to ever send messages or news stories throughout anywhere in North Georgia, you could do that, 706-889-9700. And also an email, chief@fetchernews.com, and there's all the social media ways to follow us. Now, tomorrow's election day in Georgia, okay? It's just that. Whether you want it or not, it's still here, it's going. My recommendation, I wonder how many white people voted. I wonder how many black people voted. I wonder how many Hispanic, Asians. Other. Who the hell's the others? I mean, I know. I'm just joking. But by race, by gender, by age, okay. Early voters, day of voters, non-voters. I mean, it's all broke down right here. You would, if you want the best information, so far in 2018 runoff, there has been early voting closed Friday, no early voting today and tomorrow's election day, but so far in 2018 runoff, 279,755 people have voted early. At this point in the 2018 general, the final week of voting, early voting, okay, the number was 641,515. The turnout for the 2018 runoff is 56.4% lower. How do you find this? If you want, you go to georgiavotes.com. Great resources there. georgiavotes.com. It's real easy to use. Now, that being said, rural Georgia and North Georgia, you're really coming out and casting your votes. May be big for Brad Raffensperger, the Republican on the ballot for Secretary of State, and that may do very well. And also the Public Service Commissioner, Republican Chuck Eaton. Now, we'll get into that in a minute. Now, all I'm looking for is a fair fight, right? Wouldn't that all you were looking for? Now, what was the other project, Josh, that Stacey Abrams started? The New Georgia Project, right? So, folks, we've not done very much on this show concerning this, and I told you here on this day here, Monday before election, and we hope we share this with your friends. Okay, Republicans had that 255,000 or 250. We had that 250,000 buffer, okay? In Georgia, there is the David Perdue ran against Michelle Nunn. Now I want to bring a highlight up. Chuck Todd, I did not take a picture of it, but Chuck Todd is already on MSNBC, if you don't know, or NBC, Meet the Press. In Rush's words, meet the depressed, whatever. Don't want to steal that from Rush, but this past Sunday, Chuck Todd took a look at the 2020 map, the senatorial map that's up for grabs in 2020. He picked 3 senators, okay? He picked a senator in Minnesota. He picked Cory Gardner, is that his name? Senator from Colorado. And then he picked David Perdue in Georgia. He highlighted those 3 senators that there may be, that the Republicans have to defend. Pay attention to it. That's why I watch the shows. Why the hell do you watch that stuff? Because I watch the little things. There's no accidents where these people are concerned. Okay? They set this up. 2020 is being set up every day. Robert Mueller, special counsel, setting up 2020. Okay, the deep state setting up 2020, setting up the Senate. So Chuck Todd has already started working on how many seats the Senate has to flip. And he did the scenario with a Democrat president. That means that would be a Democrat. They got to flip three to take, and that's the 3 he picked out. They got to flip 3 Republicans, okay? In 2020, yes, we're talking about it. We're staying on Georgia, Josh. It's the same segment. But they got to flip 3 Republicans, okay? And they got to flip 3 Republicans to get the Senate. If the president loses and the Democrat, we have a vice president Democrat that would cast the tie vote. Or 4 if Trump wins. And the 3 that they looked at, the first 3 they looked at having to defend their seat, is that it's going to be tough. It's not a Republican in Minnesota. That's a Democrat in Minnesota. But would be a Republican, Cory Gardner in Colorado, and David Perdue in Georgia. Now, the reason I bring that up is Stacey Abrams is not about to go home. Stacey Abrams wants to be the first something, okay? This is all there is to it. She wants to win a statewide Georgia election. She wants to be in the history books as the person that turned Georgia from purple to blue, back to blue, whatever. So when the Democrats lost in Georgia and Perdue against Michelle Nunn and so forth, the 250 gap, and she started the New Georgia Project, right? And the New Georgia Project was to find those 250,000 voters, Stacey Abrams, okay? To find them, all right? Pay attention nationally. If you're tagged in anywhere in the United States, don't leave because we're talking about Georgia and the Georgia runoff. This is big, all right? So they fell 55,000 votes short with the new Georgia project. All they could steal, you know, like an old friend used to say, by hook or by crook, okay? They did everything they could, but they fell 55,000 short. Court challenges, all they could do. So, what about fair fight? About fair fight, we know the elections in Georgia and throughout much of our country are not fair. This is one of those, you got to pay attention. Tomorrow's election day, you got to pay attention today, okay? Put the BS of the 30-second commercial out of your brain. Put the BS that Brad Raffensperger didn't pay a tax bill for $160,000 or whatever. Stacey Abrams has not paid, you know, her taxes. Okay, forget that, okay? Raffensperger has something probably there. I don't want to go into that, but that nasty John Barrow ad that Brad Raffensperger, I'm going to tell you, I've met this man several times. I don't know him very deep past the veil. I call it past the veil of going to these campaign rallies. But I'm going to tell you this, okay? Brad Raffensperger, I went to a rally down in Pickens during the primary. And this is when Raffensperger is running against, Josh McCune, okay? He's running against, what's his name, David Belle Isles. He's got 4 or 5 in the race, whatever, okay? And I went down during the primary, the Republican primary, to Pickens, at the, what's the gun place down there, Josh? Appalachian Gun and Pawn, right? Okay, I went down there. They had something down there, and Raffensperger's there. And we stood outside 1-on-1 away from the group, and we talked off the record. I'll never tell. But we had I'm going to say 15, 20-minute discussion. I told him truly how I felt about some things, and he said how he felt about some things. I tell you, I like this guy, okay? I would like to have him Secretary of State of Georgia, all right? That being said, not knowing too much past the veil of what I call, this guy is okay. Remember, get past that 1-minute commercial of he owes taxes. Really? You got a president of the United States just said, hey, maybe one day I would build a building in Russia, and everybody's going crazy. All right? So Democrats are dirty saying this tax thing. Let's get past that. Fair fight. So the new Georgia project brought in 200,000 votes. We'll call it that. It narrowed the gap by 200,000, but it didn't finish things. Got that 50 left. So Stacey Abrams has started a new group, okay? The new group is called Fair Fight. Hey, Josh, do me a favor. I forgot to send this. I was going to send this to you. Go to fairfight.com and get that video out of there, all right? And tell me when you got it. About our fight. Now, they called Brian Kemp Secretary... Let's see, what did they call him? What was that they called him? Secretary of Suppression. Not Secretary of State. Secretary of Suppression. All right? BS. I call BS on this. There was no voter suppression. All right? Secretary of Suppression. Now, the next Secretary of State has to not override the next Secretary of State and House, okay? The House of Representatives and the Senate, I don't know who's out there is going to do it. Somebody needs to step up and do it, okay? But there needs to be, between the Secretary of State and the legislative body, there needs to be some things done that they can come in, let's say, and do something where these big Democrat counties have election boards that are all Democrats that mess everything up on purpose. You don't hear this in North Georgia. We know the elections in Georgia and throughout much of the country are not fair. Voters are being suppressed and disenfranchised systematically. We are fighting to change that. So that's fair fight. And as soon as Josh gets that, gives me the hot, you got it? All right, let's play the fair fight intro video for you right now.
Brazen.
Controversy.
Unbelievable. Egregious.
Blatant attempt.
Irregularities.
Voter suppression is alive and well.
Purging more than 1.4 million voters from the rolls.
Problems at the polls. 3 machines were sent, but 8 were supposed to be there.
Misinformation.
Delayed balloting for nearly
5 hours.
An electoral system notorious for making it harder to vote.
Today, I announce Fair Fight, an operation that will pursue accountability and integrity of our elections in protecting our democracy.
Fair fight. Today she announces fair fight. And what was she able to use for that announcement? She was able to use all of the clips that were set up for her. For her. I wonder where the money for fair fight is coming from. I wonder if there's any Tom Steyer, Bloomberg, Hollywood money. I wonder where some of the money may be coming from for this fair fight. Common Cause, a.k.a. Common Cause George Soros. Now, fairness of Georgia elections challenged by far-reaching lawsuit, okay? A sweeping lawsuit filed Tuesday in the wake of Georgia's fierce race for governor calls for a federal judge to overturn state laws that resulted in purging registrations, canceled ballots, and many other obstacles to voting. Backed by the former Democrat nominee for governor, Stacey Abrams, the lawsuit continues to fight for voting rights that formed the foundation of her campaign. Abrams isn't trying to change the result of this month's election. She lost to Republican Brian Kemp, but the upcoming legal battle could decide the rules of elections in 2020 and beyond. All right? The lawsuit filed by a new group called Fair Fight Action demands that Georgia use paper ballots to validate the accuracy of elections, stop canceling voter registration of those who haven't participated in recent elections, and guarantee enough election equipment so voters don't have to wait in line for 3 hours or more. It also seeks to weaken the state's exact match law, which stalled voter registration for some legitimate voters because they had hyphened or long names, okay? Fair Fight. Abrams' new group, Fair Fight. Now, I will tell you this, and we're going to end with this right here. Let's go to, here's the impression they give, and I don't like to do impressions. I'll leave that to Dana Carvey. Give me tomorrow's candidates for Secretary of State. Now, they call Brian Kemp, there you go. They call Brian Kemp, the former Secretary of State, Secretary of Suppression, okay? Now, Raffensperger there in the red tie, and John Barrow, a little light on the top there, former Congressman Barrow, is the Democrat. Closest to me is John Barrow. He is the Democrat. Brad Raffensperger is the Republican tomorrow for Secretary of State of Georgia. Now, the Secretary of State of Georgia, they have what's called a legislative liaison, all right? So the Secretary of State votes on nothing, okay? They vote on nothing. There are certain rules they can create within election law. All right, Secretary of State can create certain rules that can't supersede election law. Now, they're going to always tell you that Brian Kemp was overturned on his exact match. I think, was it 2014 or whatever, was overturned on exact match, and he had to back away from that lawsuit, all right, and just throw in the towel on it, on a federal lawsuit on exact match. But then the Georgia legislators passed law that supported exact match. So he was able, that's why the election, you kept hearing, well, he went back to it. No, he didn't go back to it. No, these people will not tell you the truth. He did not go back to exact match. The Georgia legislature made law that gave him the ability to enforce exact match. So at the time he backed away from it, as they call, is because there was a federal lawsuit and he did not have the support of law in the state of Georgia to enforce. The Secretary of State, not getting too much in the woods, you can argue with me all day long, but I have to tell you I'm correct on this. Secretary of State has the ability to run elections in a manner they choose, let's use that word, manner they choose, based on they don't violate federal or state laws, and state being more for your local, but federal or state laws. Okay? There's some latitude in the, so Secretary of State sets up the manner the elections will be run, making sure it does not violate, okay, not violate anything federal or state. So when the exact match that you hear so much about was a federal lawsuit, Brian Kemp did not burn Georgia taxpayer funds fighting that federal lawsuit based on he did not have the backing of state law to defend on why he used exact match. So he didn't resurface that until after the legislature passed a law in Georgia. So anyhow, that being said, all right, the reason being is this federal lawsuit right here, okay, and remember this. I want you to remember this. I want you to call your friends. This is this simple in your decision to vote. Backed by former Democrat nominee for Governor Stacey Abrams, the lawsuit continues a fight for voting rights that form the foundation of her campaign. Abrams isn't, listen very close, Abrams isn't trying to change the result of this month's election that she lost to Republican Brian Kemp. She's not trying to do that. But the upcoming legal battle could decide the rules for the election in 2020 and beyond. So where I'm going to leave you with this is just that. Do you want John Barrow, to the Secretary of State of Georgia, to be John Barrow and defend Georgia against these federal lawsuits, or just bow down to the federal lawsuits? Because this is the game plan. Abrams is not finished, okay? Abrams is not finished. She plans to run, okay? She plans, as she backs John Barrow. You're totally wrong. And let's be clear. These are these times when you just got to be clear. And when somebody's not marketing to you, they're not marketing to you. So if you have, we're going to say, for example, 5 North Georgia white people. We'll just use that for an example. And you say, well, I don't hear any ads for John Barrow. Okay, or I don't see really anything on my radio station about John Barrow. Get around Metro Atlanta and listen to the radio stations there. And get around Metro Atlanta and listen to the radio stations there that have the ads from Stacey Abrams endorsing this man. Oh yeah, I've listened to several. Okay? You got to listen to certain stations. If you ain't picked that up yet, I can't help you. If you don't understand what I just said, I cannot bring you along. But you listen to certain radio stations in Atlanta, and you will pick up the ads that are trying to bring out the black vote for John Barrow. That's just all there is to it. So you got to pay attention to that, okay? So there's your choices tomorrow. Brad Raffensperger, the Republican candidate for Secretary of State, or John Barrow. Now the thing is John Barrow, I got to say it. I know you people sometimes you get angry with me. But the thing I like to do is bring you just the flat out truth. I don't want to mix this up. John Barrow's trying to play an old Southern white Democrat. Well, he is an old Southern white Democrat, so I guess he plays the role pretty well. But he will not play the role of an old white Southern Democrat once elected to Secretary of State. So there are your choices. You understand there's a 2020. So who do you want? Who do you want as Secretary? You got to remember, Secretary of State certifies that vote. You got to remember, who do you want as Secretary of State? Remember that tomorrow when you go vote. Don't think Secretary of State, not a big deal. Well, I don't know. I actually heard somebody say, well, if I vote for John Barrow, all this other stuff won't be a problem anymore, and we can just move on past the election problems. Really? Really? So there you go. Now you have a choice also tomorrow, okay, between Chuck Eaton and Lindy Miller, okay? And I watched the debate. I know. I will probably try. I will promise that one day I will get help for these kind of things. How many out there, by a show of hands, watched the runoff debate between Lindy Miller and Chuck Eaton for Public Service Commissioner, District 3, by a show of hands? You need to, I tell you what I need, Josh. I need the cricket sound effect. You know, where you hear crickets? I did. I watched the entire debate, okay? I will give Lindy Miller this. She is the Democrat running in the race against the Republican Chuck Eaton. I will give Lindy Miller this. She said, it's time to Chuck Eaton out. Chuck Eaton out because it's Miller time. I actually like that line. It was pretty good. It's Miller time. Anyhow, these candidates will control how elections are run, how much you pay. How much you pay for electricity. Georgia will determine Tuesday the next two persons in charge of overseeing state elections, okay, and how much you pay for your electricity bill. The Secretary of State and Public Service Commissioner seat is up. Chuck Eaton, I do not have time, but Lindy Miller is not got a radical. They're upset because she's running a campaign. Right there, she's running a campaign that says that she does not look like. Can you look at the Georgia? Can you look up the Georgia State Public Service Commission and see if there's a group picture? If you could do that really quick, Georgia State Public Service Commission, and see if there's a group picture there. Okay, it's because she says she doesn't look like. All right. Forget it. I've changed my mind on it. She doesn't look like the others. It's a bunch of white guys, okay? Older white guys. So she's running a commercial, and some people are giving her a hard time because she's running a commercial. The Democrat, Lindy Miller, saying, I don't look like these people here, these guys right here, and she's different. She would bring a different energy, no pun intended, to the commission. Chuck Eaton, there's something bad wrong. There's something bad wrong that Georgia Power put close to $1 million in his campaign last week. There's something bad wrong that Chuck Eaton has almost $1 million. Now, there's outside funds going in Lindy Miller's, okay? She's a Democrat, but there's something wrong of how bad Georgia Power wants to keep this guy, okay, in office. I'm just telling you. I'm going to check this text message to see if it pertains to what we're talking about this morning before I go to break. And So, anyhow, I'm your host, BKP. I wanted to check that right there, message. But that is your two choices tomorrow. You have Public Service Commissioner. All right, Chuck Eaton, put that back up. All right. Chuck Eaton, the Republican back. Chuck Eaton, currently the incumbent of Public Service Commissioner, and Lindy Miller, the Democrat. She is on the ballot. And then you have the Secretary of State, John Barrow, and the Democrat closest to me is John Barrow, and Brad Raffensperger, the one on the far end of the screen there, the Republican. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a break. Don't forget, all I'm ever looking for is a fair fight. A fair fight. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Here's to 60 years of Pizza Hut, to original pan, to stuffed crust, and to the best of both. The new double cheesy crust pan pizza with stuffed crust cheese baked just inside the golden edge of original pan. Here for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
We're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Here's how you can contact the show, 706-889-9700 or chief at veterannews.com, and there's all the social media ways you can contact us. Now, during the break, let me just tell you a little about Josh. Josh has already, highlighted spring training down at the Braves. Here's what I've been waiting to ask you, Josh. What's your opinion of Brian McCann being back?
I'm glad to have him back, but I'm not sure he was the answer at catcher.
Okay. All right, so I'm just telling you right now, if you want to ask any Braves questions, you send them here. I'll get them to Josh. It's almost like Ask the Doc, right? Ask the Josh. There you go. Braves questions. Ask the Josh. I just come up with a segment. Huh? Yeah, there you go. Never know. Okay, we're going to do 2 more segments today. We're going to go through a couple things. I'm not interested in all of the. We'll do the rundown. Roger Stone did not throw me off my game today. The interview. I do know that the Mueller investigation is called opposition research. Okay, Robert Mueller will come out. The Democrats will take over in January. The report will be released. They will beat it like a drum right as soon as the president is trying to campaign for a second term. And so if you think the Russian dossier, if you think opposition research, Republican opposition research, this is all the Mueller investigation is opposition research to be used in the 2020 campaign against Republicans. But we'll go there in a minute. My head is not spinning off. The media has gone crazy. They love to do this because The rest of the world does not have our media. They just don't. I mean, Russia, you don't have our media. There's a good deal with China. China. Trade deal. The USMC trade deal. President is doing everything he promised. He's negotiating for American farmers, manufacturers, and businesses. Okay? Period. So, but they do not have our media in the world. Okay? That is nuts. Our media is totally nuts, most of these people. Let's go, show me, this is how, before I get my two segments, because I just want to show this briefly. Josh, give me number 32. There's number 32, and this is in Argentina. And there's Putin and the Crown Prince. Okay? And there's Putin and the Crown Prince. Now give me number, I got it here somewhere. I got the, let's see. Give me number 28. Okay? In number 28, they slap heads. They high five. Putin and the Crown Prince. Putin's like, give me some skin. All right? You took out a journalist, that Khashoggi. Why you chop the guy up? I go for the poison. I have a journalist, I poison him. You chop him up. See, look at the problems you caused. All right? But they slap high five. They do that on purpose. Okay? They do that on purpose right there. Now, they're smiling from ear to ear. Now, let's look at Trump here, number 20. All right? Give me number 20 there. Putin and Trump have informal conversation at the G20. Now, this is how bad the media is. Okay? Now, as you can see, Putin's not smiling there. Trump's not smiling. There's no high-fiving, okay? No high-fiving right there. They have media is assigned to these two. He's assigned to these two. And the media is looking at this like, you know, they're staking out the bathrooms. If they both come up to the wash sink there, okay, and Putin, you know, and Trump gets a little soap there, gets a little soap and he goes like this. Putin gets a little soap and goes like this. Vladimir, how are you today? I'm doing good, Donald. And you? I'm okay. Just saying, you know. Well, me too. I'm feeling pretty well. Doctor only has me on 3 medications. Same here. Rinse, get the towel. Okay, go high five the prince. That is an informal conversation at the G20 to the media. You say I make jokes at things. No, I'm not making it. This is seriously how they are. They find this to be a big deal. In fact, the media has even gone as far to say, okay, that Trump got lucky. That may not be the quote, but lucky. Trump made it out of Buenos Aires, whatever, Argentina, okay, without a press conference. 41's death was just in time. No press conference. Trump got out of there. I mean, an awkward press conference would have brought out the media to talk about, the media would have been talking about what? Would have been talking about Trump and Putin and Ukraine and Trump and Michael Cohen and Manafort and Trump and the Crown Prince and Trump and Khashoggi. But he got out of there. 41 died just in time. Now, that's according to the media. Okay, so let's go with this, and I want to do just a brief segment on this, because then I want to talk about the South Georgia farmers, and they're very upset. And I will tell you this, they're very upset, and they sent a direct message. By the way, while the world is looking, let's go with number 48, okay? While the world is looking there number 48. That is the missile defense system and the military base, okay? That's the aerial satellite view, December 2nd, 2018, of the launchers and the missile base, okay, that has been put in place by the Russians in Crimea, okay? By the Russians in Crimea. There's your picture right there, okay? Now, 2014, okay, Russia invaded Crimea. In 2014, Russia annexed, that's for those out there that think that annexing is a good thing, Crimea. Crimea is a part of, why did I lose my train of thought? What's it a part of? Anyhow, I lost my train of thought of what it's a part of there. What did they invade just last week? Or the Ukraine, thank you. Wow, I had a Ukrainian moment. So Crimea is a part of Ukraine. They invade it. They put a weapons defense system in there. Now you're talking about Ukraine, the third largest nuclear stash in the world. They get rid of it in 94, okay? They get rid of it in 94. Now Ukraine has this stash for our defense. Russia waits for the right time, okay, because they don't wait till the next election. Russia never waits till the next election. China doesn't wait till the next election. North Korea doesn't wait till the next election. They do not, it does not work like that in their world, okay? So they wait, they go in. Who is president of the United States? Barack Hussein Obama is president of the United States. 2014, they take Crimea. They put in a weapons defense military base right there in Crimea. That is actually on the property of Ukraine. There you go. Nobody talks about it. There's one other thing. They're trying to deter you over to with keeping you away from the Ukraine. And let's see, I had it here earlier. I thought I put it in. Maybe I did not. Iran launched a nuclear, not a nuclear missile. Iran launched a missile test. Okay, Iran launched a missile test. And that's something we don't talk about. Now, all that being said, all the things that really in the world are never talked about, this is Jerry Nadler, number one, okay? And this is actually the segment I want to really highlight. This is Gerard Nadler. He's a representative from New York. He will be, at this time, now pay attention, at this time he's the Judicial Committee ranking member. Now what does that mean? Okay, Goodlatte, Virginia Representative Goodlatte is the Judicial Committee chairman at this time, I'm pretty sure, Judicial Committee chairman, okay? This is the ranking member, meaning they don't have majority, they have minority. So that being said, he will, in January, become the chairman of the Judicial Committee. Now pay attention, okay? Because the opposition research that Mueller's doing is getting ready to land on his desk. Period. The opposition research that Mueller's doing, forget Michael Cohen. Forget Michael Cohen. Forget the Paul Manafort. Forget all of this stuff that Michael Flynn, who's getting sentenced. Forget all that. I know you're saying, well, that's not easy to forget. It's on the news 24/7. That's the reason they do it. This guy right here is who they don't want you to pay attention to. Now, he was on Meet the Press, and I took a couple notes, and let me get a couple notes from Nadler, from this past weekend's, all right, Chair House Judicial Committee, Trump Tower in Moscow, obstruction of justice. Nadler said that the discussion of the Trump Tower in Moscow, obstruction of justice, lies. This guy right here said the president lies to the American people all the time. We know he lied. He said, this guy right here said the president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, lied about doing business with Russia. He said that Russia obviously had leverage over the president of the United States. Cohen pled guilty to lying, and Comey's testimony, interaction with Russia, and Cohen lied to Congress. Now, that being said, all right, this guy right here will be, Mueller's report will land on his desk. This guy will have subpoena power. This guy will have the gavel to this committee, Judicial Committee, and this guy will have every possibility he can in impeaching the president. Articles of impeachment will come from this committee right here, Judicial Committee. Articles of impeachment will come from this committee. Now, every time you see Gerard Nadler, and Gerard Nadler says he will not, or not will not, he doesn't know if impeachment is something they want to look at immediately. You know, he has to see the report. He doesn't know if impeachment is something they want to venture into, you know, if it's really on the table. That's garbage. That's a lie. He can't wait. If you think Tom Steyer, okay, need to impeach Tom Steyer, the billionaire from California, that has spent hundreds of millions of dollars changing. Tom Steyer spent hundreds of millions of dollars in Orange County, California, to remove Scott Walker, governor of Wisconsin, to try to help Stacey Abrams become governor, and try to flip Florida and other places. You're badly mistaken if you think Gerard Nadler is going to tell Tom Steyer no when it comes to impeaching the president of the United States. Now, when the opposition research gets there, now look at the screen. You see how that says right there? You see it says Judiciary Committee Ranking Member. This picture is going to be up. Let's go with number 3. Not particularly maybe this picture, but this picture is going to be up with the caption under it. Republican Doug Collins, Judiciary Committee Ranking Member in January. Now, Collins was hoping to be the Judiciary Committee, okay, chair, the chair of the Judiciary Committee. He was hoping for that. But he is now going to be, and Jim Jordan, the Freedom Caucus, all right, Jim Jordan was going to be the ranking member, and he is not. Collins got that, and he got more votes than another Ohio representative for this. But that guy right there, go to number 2, all right? Let's keep in mind, that guy right there, Republican, 9th Congressional District of Georgia, Congressman Doug Collins, I know very well, you know well from this show, will be the ranking member when 2019 takes place. I said 2018 earlier. 2019 hits. He will be the ranking member. And when he is, he will be the one we're looking for to be the fighter. And that's going to be my question to the congressman when I can get him on the show. He's been on many times. Will you be the fighter, the defender? Will you, the truth? Will you push back on the Democrats every way you can to stop their dream of impeaching the President of the United States? Now, you've had the Mueller for 2 years. 2 years. Stay here. Mueller, 2 years. Russian hoax, collusion, nothing. Nothing. President of the United States has done nothing at all. Broke no laws. But that took 2 years. That cloud of an investigation hung over the 2018 election. Now they're going to pass that ball off, that opposition research, to go to number one. Is that Nadler? Is that number one? To him. They're going to pass that opposition research off to him. And they're going to chip away. And they're going to create the next cloud for 2020. You watch and see. I'm your host, BKP. It's 9:28. We come back. I want to do 2 more segments, but I want to do a bigger segment when we come back, and I want to stay focused on this one. And the reason I want to do this is it is local, but Hurricane Michael's relief fund that the Governor Nathan Deal put together, okay, for the special session, 1 congressman voted against it. 1. All right? 1. And then we had the congressman on the show, and the congressman made some comments. And South Georgia said, hey, we don't like what this, not congressman, representative, I apologize, representative. 1 representative in Georgia voted against it. 1 representative. And South Georgia farmers said, wait a minute, we don't like what you did, and we're not just going to let it go. I'm your host, BKP. We'll have that story when we return.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Trying to find an article here that I was... Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. I want to do this segment, and I'll tell you why. What I want to do here is we're going to post this segment, all right? We're going to post this segment on our website along with my interview, along with a copy of the letter you're about to see on the website. And it's the reason why the 8th District, the Georgia House 8th District. And the Georgia House 8th District it comprises Union County, Towns County, Rabun County, and a part of White County. And we know Hurricane Michael came through and devastated South Georgia. Devastated the farmers, the crop, businesses, people's lives. And, you know, there's a time when people say you got to put politics aside. And I don't know all the details in the bill, but it was a time when everybody, Democrat and Republican, put everything aside and voted to support Georgia $270 million in hurricane aid for the farmers and the people of South Georgia, okay? So they had a special session. The Georgia Governor Nathan Deal called a special session, and in that special session there was a piece of legislation which it was said that there's subsidies in the legislation, and some people don't believe in subsidies, and whatever you believe concerning whether you agree with subsidies or not. Let me get there. So the State House has overwhelmingly approved $270 million funding to aid communities in southern Georgia devastated by Hurricane Michael. The House vote was 162-1 Thursday to pass the relief money sought by Governor Deal, who called lawmakers into a special session after the storm struck in October. Now, who is the one? The only one. And the reason I highlight this is I have asked this representative in the 8th District this question several times, okay? Several times. Why, you're a representative of a district. So whatever is of the best interest for the people that live in Union County, the people that live in, Towns County, people that live in Rabun County and part of White County, whatever their best interest is, no matter what, whether it's internet, farming, hotel, motel tax, it doesn't matter what it is. That's what you run for, is to represent that district. And in representing that district and the needs of the people in that district, there becomes times that you have to vote on things for South Georgia, West, East. They have to vote on things for you. So there is a certain amount of, getting along, working together to achieve what you want to get done for your district. Now that would be Representative Matt Gutler. You got Matt's picture there. Could you put up number 6? So Matt Gutler is the representative from the 8th District of Georgia for Georgia State House. Okay? Second term. He's been voted in for a second term. All right? Now, he is the one no vote. Okay? Only one lawmaker, Republican Matt Gutler of Tiger, voted against the spending. The budget bill now goes to the state Senate. Only one that voted against it. Okay? Now, I had Matt, Representative Gutler, on our show, and we interviewed him. We interviewed Representative Gutler, and when we interviewed him, we talked about constitutional carry, but then I asked him about this vote. And I asked him directly if the same level of devastation took place in his district. Same level, but the House or the governor had the same bill. So let's turn it around, okay? And this is in the interview, and I'm not going to quote him. You can listen to the interview. And I had to press him twice on this because here's how I felt. The representatives in South Georgia have had their South Georgia is devastated by Hurricane Michael. He voted no. Okay, he has his reasons. But if that same level of devastation would have taken part in his district, and if his district was looking for funding from Georgia, okay, concerning the devastation, but the language in the bill was the same, would he still vote no? Because he says he's the conscience of the Republican Party in the state of Georgia. And I had to press him on that. So if you say this is a no because of the language, then wouldn't it be the same in your own district? Okay. That interview is there. He said he would probably have to vote his conscience and vote against it. And that's not a quote. We do have it in an interview. Well, after that interview, and let me show you the district. Let's pull up. This is number 7. This is all the districts in South Georgia, and you could see those: 173, 175, 174, 171, 153. You can see all the districts in South Georgia right there, okay, where devastation came through, all right? That's the House. And then you could see number 8, these are the Senate districts. Okay, in South Georgia. Number 13, number 12, number 11, number 8, number 7, 19. These are the Senate, state Senate districts in South Georgia. Now, I received a letter that we will publish from South Georgia representative, also a farmer, Sam Watson. This is number 4. Go with number 4 there. This is a farmer and a representative. Number 4. Number 4, my picture, not the letter yet. This is a representative, Sam Watson, a farmer there. Okay. Right there, I received a letter from him. And let's go with number 5. This is his picture there for the Georgia House representative. And here's our letter. So I received a letter, and if you could pull that up on page 1. And this came from Sam Watson, representative. We will post this from District 172. And this is to the editor. Now, show the second one for a minute, okay? And this is what I was showing you there. Look at the bottom of that. It says, on behalf of District 171, 170, 150, 153, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 House members. Okay, 14 House members co-signed this on behalf of 14, in support of this letter, 14 House members, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 state senators, okay, approved their names being on this letter from Sam Watson, Chairman Sam Watson, Georgia House of Representatives, District 172. So let's go back to 1. And as it reads, several weeks ago on October 10th, Hurricane Michael crossed the Florida Panhandle and slammed into the heart of South Georgia farmland, leaving in its wake billions of dollars in damage to the state's #1 industry, agriculture, and devastating the lives of some very good, hardworking Georgians. A Category 3 storm with 115-mile winds, Michael was the first major hurricane to directly hit the state in over a century. Due to the severity of the damage, Governor Nathan Deal called a November 13 special session of Georgia General Assembly to seek approval of $270 million in state aid for affected areas. Most of the money merely was the required match for the federal aid. So we had to have a required match. We have federal aid. It's so big that we have to have a required match, okay, to get the federal funding, okay? Deeply moved by the, and let me tell you this, I have personally witnessed this in your local governments and counties when they have to match state funding in GMA, okay? So anyhow, deeply moved by the plight of their fellow Georgians, members of the General Assembly set aside politics for a few days and gave funding bills overwhelmingly bipartisan support. This meant a lot of those who represent South Georgia, especially since both parties were still shaking off the dust of the November 6th general election. The only exception to this goodwill was your District 8 representative. Now, this is directly to the people of the 8th District, okay? The only exception to this goodwill is your District 8 representative, Matt Gutler. Coming off his re-election the previous week, he could not resist the temptation to put his political ambition ahead of the need of our people. Instead of addressing his concerns about the aid bill prior to the vote, he simply pressed his no button and in subsequent media interviews, okay, passed off his disturbing lack of compassion as conservative principles, okay? So Mr. Gutler claimed in media interviews it was against his conservative principles. In one interview, he lied. Asked how South Georgia representatives had reacted to his vote, he said, "We understand his position and agree with him on many points." Now, I think that would be my interview with the representative. That's what I'm saying. It's not called out here. But I asked the representative, hey, how are your colleagues in South Georgia treating you since this? Well, you know, this representative says in one interview he lied, okay? I assure you, this is from Sam Watson, I assure you that is not the case. No one agrees with your representative and his vote. Moreover, in the last 2 years he has served under the Gold Dome, I have yet to detect a Representative Gutler willingness to work constructively on anything to help Georgians, your district included. He actually is on record saying he would vote against any kind of relief or aid for his own district were it to be hit with a natural disaster. Simply voting against every use of state funds in an annual budget for any other purpose is short-sighted and foolhardy. Okay. What would happen if Georgia General Assembly also abdicated its responsibility to schools, public safety, and public service? It's important to understand that the legislative process is designed to be exactly that, a process. Every bill has in its things members dislike, some in committee meetings, and then back and forth process between two chambers. We work out the differences to benefit the state and its people. However, Representative Gutler didn't participate in the process on the aid bills, even through the proposed appropriations bill was on his desk before the session began. I have friends who reside in the 8th District. I know them to be kind-hearted and compassionate people. Surely they would not turn their backs on the people of South Georgia, but this is exactly what their state representative did. Thank you for allowing me to set the record straight. Sincerely, Sam Watson, Chairman. Sam Watson, District 172, and you see all of the representatives that have signed that. And that will be on our website. Now, the one thing I want you to know before we go here, a couple things because I have asked. Now, I've asked the representative directly, okay, this question. Here it is for his first term. Representative Matt Gutler tops no votes list at 37.8%. I've asked him right here. And a few key facts. Lawmakers in the state cast 464 votes this year, with 40 being attendance. That leaves 420 votes to cast by each representative, resolution, and amendment. State Representative Matt Gutler, who was elected in 2016, voted no. He voted no 146 times out of 420 for 39% of the time. Of the votes cast, 5 were procedural, meaning Gutler's voted no on actual legislation 159 times out of 140, okay? So I've just asked him this. Let me give you a little background on State Representative Sam Watson and a little bit of background on him. ABAC president, Watson, a 1999 ABAC graduate, is a state representative from House District 172 in the Georgia House of Representatives. He is also a Colquitt County farmer who is the managing partner of Chelsea Farms and the Moultrie Melon Company. Watson was also a recipient of the 2017 Outstanding Young Alumnus Award presented by ABAC Alumni Association in recognition of alumni who have distinguished themselves through professional achievement, community service, and ABAC. He is a farmer. So I'm going to put that up. The reason being is, okay, I'm not a big, I cringe sometimes at the word bipartisan, you know that. But representatives have to keep in mind they are there, regardless if it's Washington, D.C., regardless if it's under the Gold Dome or what state they're in, that they are there to represent their district and their constituents in their district. And sometimes how somebody plans to get something good done for their district and they don't make friends south of the Nat line. If you don't know what that is, you don't know much about Georgia, you got a problem. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. We'll come back and do pictures for about 4 minutes. So don't go away. We're coming back. Josh, take us to break.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Elijah next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Elijah next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Here's to 60 years of Pizza Hut, to original pan, to stuffed crust, and to the best of both. The new double cheesy crust pan pizza with stuffed crust cheese baked just inside the golden edge of original pan. Here for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, we're back. North Georgia's only live online #1 sports show, Instant Replay with Dave Garner. Lost my earpiece here. Is coming up in about 5 minutes, so you don't want to leave, okay? I want you to go to Team FYN Sports Facebook. We're doing something new today, so I want you to go to Facebook and find Team FYN Sports Facebook page and join our page there. We're going to be running our sports show on later on FYNTV.com, but today we're going to run it on Facebook Live and then move it over to our YouTube channel, so you will have that. Trump, and let's go number 9. Okay. Number 9, there is a 90-day tariff truce that Trump has worked out with President Xi of China, and that will be a 90-day deal there that they're working on. President Trump is very good at trade deals. Okay, number 12, Michael Cohen's asking to avoid prison time. Okay, we know that. Cohen's asking, hey, don't put me in prison. I'm too cute. I'm too cute. I'll never make it behind bars. Please don't put me in prison. Okay, number 16, Michael Flynn, federal prosecutors to file sentencing memo for Michael Flynn by Tuesday. So tomorrow they'll be telling a federal judge what they want, what they're requesting in sentencing. Okay, and for him, and let's go to. Let's just go to number 21. Here's a quick picture. Trump-Russia spar over why he ditched Putin meeting. Okay, why did he ditch that? Let's just go to 25 real quick. This young lady here, I forget her name. I just want to show you the tag underneath. President Trump and First Lady to attend George H.W. Bush's funeral. They're making a big deal out of it. There's no way in the world the Bush family was going to stop 45 from being at 41's funeral. Wasn't going to happen. 45 is going to be able to act right for an hour during the service, but the media is making a big deal that he even got invited, that Donald Trump got invited. Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. 41, 45, and we will talk. As I noted today, we're not going to go down this road. We're going to leave with number 33. This is George W. Bush, January 29th, 1991. All right, George H.W. Bush and his young vice president, Daniel Quayle, and the Quayle man couldn't spell potato. He had it on the blackboard. There's no E, right? No E. I guess potato. There's no E in the toe. Like tomato. I don't know. But anyhow, Dan Quayle, remember that. So anyhow, President Bush there. Comey, number 34, is going to testify, and he said, grateful for a fair hearing from judge, hard to protect my rights without being in contempt, which I don't believe in, so we'll sit in the dark but Republicans agree. I'm free to talk when I'm done, and transcript released 24 hours later. This is the closest I can get to public testimony. And the Russian spokesman, number 36, says there were contacts on Trump Tower, but they disappeared. The contacts disappeared. So we'll leave it at that. World's going crazy over Roger Stone. Go to our Facebook page, Facebook Live. Get ready for Instant Replay. Instant Replay with Dave Garner, North Georgia's #1 sports show. Take us out of here. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Election Day.